A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, September 3. The Alliance Owners of Public Transport reports that one of its members has tested positive for the COVID-19 virus and is pleading with anyone who came into contact with that driver to go forward for testing. In a note late Friday, Director of the AOPT, Craig Banfield, said, on August 30, the driver of ZR85 became ill while traveling on Route 11, and he required assistance from passengers and medical personnel. He was tested for COVID-19 and the results returned positive on August 31. The Alliance Owners of Public Transport, under the guidance of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, is encouraging all persons who travel on ZR85 or came into close contact with the driver between August 23 and August 29 to present themselves for COVID-19 testing. Persons who came into close contact with the driver are encouraged to seek medical attention and test from September 5, 2021. In addition, anyone who believed they were exposed or are experiencing symptoms are asked to seek medical attention. Testing for persons connected with the above incident can be facilitated at the Eunice Gibson Polyclinic, the Brantford Tate Polyclinic, or the Wilde Gymnasium testing site. In other news, after conducting more than 200 tests, the government's community testing program has so far turned up 0 positive cases of the COVID-19 virus among selected businesses and individuals across Barbados. However, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth Jarvis says the initiative will continue.
So far, we haven't gotten back any positives or interventions, but that doesn't mean that we should stop. So the community-based work hasn't brought up any positive cases, but we continue to find positive cases on a daily basis. So for yesterday, we picked up, I think, 27, and they are from multiple areas, business houses, some from families. Still seeing a lot of COVID clusters in families. And that is where we are.
The government's chief medical advisor also disclosed that the ministry has further expanded the island's ability to isolate suspected positive cases in light of the surging numbers of infections.
We have scaled up our ability to isolate. So Queen's College has come online. Before that, it was Darrell Jordan School. And Sunday is stood up. Blackman and Gollop is stood up. This was done out of not only urgency, but planning forward, in the sense of the need to be able to isolate many more people. With respect to quarantine hotels, we have managed to secure up to 350 extra rooms for quarantine, because our quarantine program, I still believe, is what gives us a buffer, because we still quarantine primary contact.
Barbados has recorded 31 new COVID-19 cases, 15 males and 16 females tested positive from 1,557 tests conducted by the Best de Santos Public Health Laboratory on Thursday. The new cases include 25 persons who are 18 years old and over and 6 under the age of 18. There are currently 425 persons in isolation. Since the start of the pandemic, Barbados has recorded 5,183 confirmed cases of the viral illness. The Public Health Lab has carried out 268,124 tests. To date, 113,404 people have received first doses of the vaccine under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19. Meanwhile, 35.1% of the population have received second doses and are fully vaccinated. Murder-accused 27-year-old Romario Antonio Clark of Brisk Road, Fitzville, St. James, was today remanded to HMP Dodds after appearing before Magistrate Wayne Clark at the Holtown Magistrate Court. Clark was not required to plead guilty to the indictable charges of the August 25 murder of Jamar Corbin and the use of a firearm without a license. He is scheduled to reappear in court on October 1. Government is ramping up its anti-violence campaign. Today, Acting Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment John King officially launched the Anti-Violence Adopt a Stop project at Haggett Hall, St. Michael. The phase of the campaign involves the strategic placing of anti-violence messages on bus shelters to help stamp out crime.
The unveiling of the messages on this bus shelter here today is just the beginning of a rollout of other shelters in the next few days at strategic locations such as Oistins, Spikestown, Six Roads, and along Black Rock Main Road. Additionally, you will see a number of benches displaying messages in places heavily traversed by pedestrians and vehicular traffic. In addition, one of the prime targets of the anti-violence campaign is young people. The ministry will therefore be targeting areas such as schools, recreational facilities, and places young people tend to congregate as priority spots to display messages of peace. The intention is to make messages of peace more visible in our face and consciousness in order that persons can make the choice to end the violence now.
A mother and daughter, the victims of a fire which destroyed their home on July 10, were laid to rest today. Janice Mitchell and Keisha Mitchell were remembered as kind, loving, caring women as a small gathering attended their funeral service at the chapel of the Westbury Cemetery. Grieving brother Travis Mitchell told the gathering it has been a painful experience.
It is one of the most difficult moments losing a mother, far less both mother and sister. Janice, at the age of 58 and Keisha 36, died very young women. Their passing is extremely tragic, especially given the surrounding circumstances. I have learned over these couple of weeks that nothing can truly prepare you for the loss of a loved one. The thought of never being able to see them again is overwhelming. The memories we share and the inability to make new ones disabling. The pain piercing with a sharp knife. I declare, however, that today is not a day to dwell on that pain, which I know you to feel. Rather, it is a time to celebrate the lives of these two special people we held here.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, in Jamaica, a report on online learning conducted by the Caribbean Policy Research Institute points a worrying picture. More on this report from Television Jamaica.
Noted lack of access to devices and the internet among the big challenges for students. Lack of parental guidance for students engaging in online learning was also another big problem highlighted in the report.
Within vulnerable communities, almost half of the households surveyed did not have access to the internet, and 20% of them did not have a suitable device to facilitate remote learning. Students with disabilities were already at a disadvantage, and during COVID, missed out on resources available through face-to-face, including learning coaches, shadows, therapists, and a daily routine tailored to them by developmental specialists.
It further pointed out that the learning gaps across various levels continue to widen. Ability tests were used to compare the performance of grade 6 students before and after the pandemic. The results showed a reduction in student performance.
What we saw is that there was an 8 percentage point decline in the performance of students in the ability test using the mean score. In 2020, the mean score was 60% compared to 52% in 2021.
At the secondary level, there was also a decline in the number of students sitting national and regional examinations.
On the international front, the Taliban appeared all set to announce the formation of a new government today, even in the face of prevailing skepticism in Afghanistan.
People in the streets of Kabul is quite skeptical about the Taliban promises. It's like key words of their charm offensive they have been playing, we could say, for the past weeks, especially with regards to the international community, because as we know, Afghanistan is very close to collapse financially and is extremely dependent to the billions of dollars we could come and from the international community. So it remains to be seen. The Afghan people don't believe it very much, maybe because they are just traumatized by the 1996-2001 reign of terror of the Taliban here. But the thing which is quite important today is Friday, it's like Sunday, so there is the streets are quite empty, so we could expect the announce of this new government, inclusive or not, by the end of the day after the big prayer. The thing is, we tend to understand that even the Taliban commanders are trying to move fast for the international community, of course, but also for the people of Afghanistan.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.